There's two circles in the church functioning right now, Hannah's Circle and Martha's Circle, and these women give a lot of time and service to our church, helping with meals when there's funerals, helping with that. There's a ministry that Hannah's Circle does with the young mothers and sending packages to them.
I'm still serving on the LLL, LWML, Martha's Circle, and help with all of the funerals. I always get here to make the coffee, and I'm only 96 years old.
Hannah's Circle and a member of the Altar Guild and the Lutheran Women's Missionary League. I'm a member of all those, and then we also make the banners. The committee makes them, all the banners that we hang. And it is special because we enjoy doing it. It's what we do kind of for the Lord, you know, to make our church build beautiful and help in that way.
When the orphanage is at Addison, we used the Ladies' Aid used to can in the fall when the fruit was big supply. They'd bring apples and pears to the church basement, and the ladies would congregate and sit there and peel apples and cook apples and can applesauce. And then they would come out with trucks and get the filled jars and bring empty ones for the next session. And that's kind of how the missionary rally, I guess, kind of got organized with their subjects of sewing and quilting. And
Martha's Circle was Ladies' Aid then, and we made quilts. We started making quilts then for World Relief. And the Royers were here at the time, and Mrs. Royer joined us, all of us ladies, and we worked out in the parish hall making quilts. And those were great days.
The ladies groups in our congregation that have had quilt ministries where they've made quilts to send overseas, particularly to Africa, as well as goodie bags to college students to let them know that they're being thought of and remembered by the congregation.
The baskets, or the quilts and baskets that our Ladies' Aid has been doing for years, and they're all over the world, sure.
Another thing that our Martha's Circle has done that really hit home for me was their school bags. They sew over 100 school bags every year, and then the congregation fills them with school supplies to take to underprivileged countries. Many of these have gone to Africa.
We put out school bags for World Relief, and Evelyn and I made most of those bags over the years, something like 1,500 of them, and the congregation put the items inside the bags like erasers, well, 8 items.
So that they've got some of the essentials that they need for starting into education, because education is obviously such a really important thing.
Well, our daughter was teaching English in Africa for a year as a second language, and she was in a very remote village west of Nairobi in Kenya when a truck pulled up, and lo and behold, they were unloading these school bags for children. And so she truly got to see that outreach in action and the kids' faces as they were just so excited to get a new set of crayons and pencils and paper. They were just, I mean, that was like Christmas to them, to see these school bags arrive. That, yeah, we're making a difference.
We've been very involved with mission offerings, which help missionaries that do indeed preach throughout the world.
Our congregation is a very mission-oriented congregation. We do send a lot of money to missions. We were helping a pastor, Reverend Whitty, in Panama, and we now sponsor a pastor in Kyrgyzstan, and as well as sending money to Braidwood and Prairie View Lutheran Home and Lutheran Church Extension Fund and Lutheran Children and Family Services. So we do a lot of mission work.
Isaiah, tell the people my words. Comfort, comfort my people, says your God.
An extremely giving congregation. You know, my home congregation in Braidwood, they've assisted with us in many ways over the years financially because we're a new church. We were a church plant. I was called to begin that congregation, and they've worked hand in hand with us, been a real wonderful neighboring congregation in that respect. They've given us many blessings over the years in terms of people to help. When we built our building, they were out there. I remember one day for sure, and maybe a couple others, where actual bodies came up and helped us build our building, and then of course they've helped us financially through the years too.
But not only giving of money, they give of their time, of their talents, and of their love of Christ.
Locally, we support people that are in need, that have run into financial difficulties for whatever reason, and help with paying utility bills and Christmas baskets, what have you, to get things through.
Pretty much just lighting the candles for the service. It's pretty easy once you get a hold of it. I guess my dad calls me the pro at it just because I have to do it so many times. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty special. I mean, of course you always bow before you go up to the altar, but like before this, I never got to go up to the altar, so it was pretty cool, like in 6th grade when I started, so it's pretty fun still, I guess.
And in terms of community, they've always been very active. Their missions abroad across the world and in the district and locally, that's something very important, and that's something not to minimalize, because that's what God calls us to be, is to be sharing His word in the community, not just to keep it amongst ourselves in the pew, so to speak, but to spread it outside these four walls.
And for funerals, we always make a dish to bring to help the family. Most of the time they ask me to make dessert.
He's commanded us to do it in the first place. You help the poor, therefore you help me. And it's just something that I feel we should share. He gives it to us, it's not ours, and they need it, so let's share with them. Let's help them too.
I enjoy how giving they are. They've been very good to me, and it's always a pleasure to be amongst them. And it's been a true joy, that's for sure.
They asked me if I wanted to continue serving on the societies which I belong. I said, yes, I do. Especially since Bell's palsy and the shingles both hit me so hard. And I said, I want to serve as long as I can serve, because it gives me something else to think about and not me.
It's an absolute true honor. I felt very privileged to be chairman for 2 years, because it's a big responsibility that the people entrust you with. If the people entrust you with that responsibility, then it's up to you to return to them the best that you can do. You're serving God, you're serving the church through the Board of Elders.
I know the LYF, or the youth group, does a lot. They made blankets and took cookies to people around the community, and we try to have like fall festivals and everything like that. I think we do a pretty good job of helping out. We've got like a lock-in and stuff like that.
As a member of LYF, I take part in helping with lock-ins, and we babysit like we're doing now, and what else? We do car washes, and I don't know, there's always a lot of stuff involved. Like when we do the lock-in, we like bake cookies and give them to people, and we make fleece blankets, and we'll give them to nursing homes.
One time the LYF had a spaghetti extravaganza, and we would push around the desserts, the junior LYF, and it was pretty cool.
It's like community service giving is like really good. I don't know. It means a lot for me, like when I give somebody something, because I know like they take it to heart, especially when like they're in a nursing home, because they don't get stuff all that often.
So I just want to remain serving as long as I can possibly do it.
That's why I tell you, the people who, I always say you're never too old enough to be involved. Because sometimes you feel like, well, I've been teaching, I've been in this for a long time, I'm retiring, and so now maybe it's time to sit back and enjoy the enjoyed that, which of course, that's nice to be able to do that, but I always try to remind them, until our last breath, God's called us to respond and to be a part of His community, not just to worship, but we still have a voice, we still have an opportunity to share His word.